Hello and welcome to Stories and Lessons. My name is Amy Ebert and I'm your host for today's podcast. Welcome back to the series on all things outside of your comfort zone. Do you know someone who does this, or are you attached to how something will happen instead of the what it is that you actually want to happen? If so, then this principle is for you. The path of least resistance, or the principle of least effort, is not to be confused with the road less traveled, nor is it necessarily considered to be in opposition. The path of least resistance, or the principle of least effort, is characterized by aligning with the natural flow of life, conserving energy and maximizing effectiveness and your outcomes. It's about letting go of the need for control, taking inspired action, and moving forward purposefully without unnecessary struggle. On the other hand, the road less traveled refers to diverging from the norm, embracing challenges, and seeking personal growth. It's about choosing a less conventional or typical path. It involves risk and uncertainty, still potentially leading to greater personal growth and fulfillment. While both paths may ultimately lead to growth and self-discovery, the path of least resistance emphasizes navigating challenges with ease and grace. Picture Neo from The Matrix with hyper-awareness and fluidity, while the road less traveled involves unconventional choices, forging new paths despite obstacles. It's about doing things differently, not necessarily with the fluidity of least effort. Now that we got that covered, imagine you're standing at a crossroads. One sign says path of least resistance, the other says road less traveled. Now, the path of least resistance is like going with the flow, water cascading downhill, and conserving your energy. It's all about choosing the smoothest, chill route, tackling any challenges with a Zen-like calm, and letting go of the need to control everything. And the road less traveled is more like taking the scenic route, embracing the adventure, stepping out of your comfort zone in a way where you're much more willing to take risks for the sake of personal growth. So while the path of least resistance is all about easy cruising, the road less traveled is about forging your own path, even if it means blazing a trail through uncharted territory. Both have their perks and merits and aren't without their challenges, depending on your personality type, of course, and history. So it's about finding that optimal balance or method that works for you, depending on your circumstances, environment, and current goals. As you're regularly standing at a crossroads in life, faced with multiple paths to choose from, one of those paths is smooth, almost effortless, while the others seem laden with obstacles and challenges. Now, let's clarify something. Choosing the path of least resistance doesn't mean taking the easy way out or being lazy or complacent. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of life so you can still move forward, but while conserving your energy, maximizing your effectiveness, and optimizing your outcomes. Let's draw a parallel with nature. As water flows downhill, it effortlessly finds its way around rocks and bends, pouring or trickling through, and always takes the path of least resistance. Now imagine if we approached our goals and challenges with the same mindset. Instead of constantly pushing against the current, we could learn to flow with it. A fundamental aspect of embracing the path of least resistance is recognizing that much of the resistance we face is, you guessed it, self-created. How often do we find ourselves grappling with challenges only to realize later that we were the ones standing in our own way? We've all heard the parable of the drowning man, also known as two boats and a helicopter. It's a short story about a devoutly religious man who refuses several rescue attempts from a canoe, a motorboat, and a helicopter in the face of approaching floodwaters, which goes a little like this typical version from Psychology Today. A storm descends on a small town. The downpour soon turns into a flood. As the waters rise, the local preacher kneels in prayer on the church porch, surrounded by water. One of the townsfolk comes up the street in a canoe. "Better get in, preacher. The waters are rising fast." "No," says the preacher. "I have faith in the Lord. He will save me." The waters continue to rise. Now the preacher is up on the balcony, earnestly wringing his hands when another guy zips up in a motorboat. "Come on, preacher. We need to get you out of here. The levee's going to break any minute." Once again, the preacher is unmoved. "I shall remain. The Lord will see me through." After a while, predictably, the levee breaks, and the flood rushes over the church until only the steeple remains above water. The preacher is up there, clinging to the cross when a helicopter descends out of the clouds and a state trooper calls down to him through a megaphone, "Grab the ladder, preacher. This is your last chance." Once again, the preacher insists the Lord will deliver him. And, predictably, he drowns. A devoted man, the preacher goes to heaven. After a while, he finally gets an interview with God, and he asks the Almighty, "Lord, I had unwavering faith in you. Why didn't you deliver me from that flood?" God shakes his head. "What did you want from me? I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter." We hope you're enjoying today's episode as much as we loved creating it for you. And speaking of creating content, producing this podcast takes time, effort, and resources. We invest our heart and soul into bringing you valuable and entertaining episodes week after week. If you've been enjoying our show and would like to show your support, we have a fantastic way for you to do so. You can now support the show by making a small contribution through our Support the Show link. It's really easy. Just click on the Support the Show link in the show notes section, and it takes you right to our donation page. By donating, you'll be helping us cover various production costs, upgrading our equipment, and securing amazing guests for future episodes. Every little bit helps us tremendously in elevating the quality of our content. The platform is a user-friendly website where you can contribute easily. Plus, it's a fun way for us to connect with you and show our gratitude directly. We'll be sending some exclusive bonus content, behind-the-scenes footage, and special shout-outs to our supporters. So if you appreciate what we do and want to be part of this amazing journey, consider buying us a virtual cup of coffee or two. Your support means the world to us. Together, we can make this podcast even better and continue delivering top-notch episodes for your enjoyment. We appreciate you for listening and thank you in advance for your support. Now, back to the episode. So, how can we apply this principle in our daily lives? It all starts with a simple shift in perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, view them as potential opportunities for growth and learning. There might be a readily available alternative path that is shorter, faster, and easier to accomplish the same thing. Embrace these challenges with an open mind and a willingness to adapt. Another aspect of the path of least resistance is learning to let go of control. This is a tough one. We often hold on to things tightly, trying to micromanage every aspect of our lives. But what if, instead, we surrendered to the natural flow of things, even outsourcing our lengthy to-do list, eliminating a source of mind-numbing pain, trusting even that God or the universe has a plan far greater than our own. If every second of your day is micromanaged, there certainly won't be much time for creative flow. Now, I'm not suggesting that we become passive bystanders in our own lives. That sounds terrible, quite frankly. It's about creating the space to take inspired action, moving forward with purpose, but without the unnecessary struggle. The path of least resistance isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about approaching them with a sense of ease and flow. I remember this coach who had a unique way of analyzing people. He told me that one day while he was at the grocery store, he observed how quickly an individual seemed to give up when faced with a stuck shopping cart. In his mind, if the cart didn't budge easily, people tended to abandon it rather swiftly, perceiving this as a sign of giving up in life if they chose to stop pulling on the cart and opt for a different one instead. Now, I saw it from a completely different perspective. Why would I continue to struggle with a stubborn cart when there's a perfectly functional one right next to it? It seemed illogical to waste time yanking on a cart endlessly when there's a readily available option nearby that allows me to move forward without delay. Granted, sometimes the next available cart might not be the right one either. Perhaps it's the one with the janky wheel, right? But even then, opting for the third cart is still quicker and easier compared to persisting with the one that's stuck. So the next time you find yourself at a crossroads, remember to consider the path that feels inspired and effortless, fun even. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you got value from what we've provided, please follow the show, give us a positive 5-star review, and share with others. Having said that, if you haven't done so already, we are now accepting enrollments for Level Up Goal, our accountability program designed to support you in achieving your next goal. We've dedicated a significant amount of time and effort to create this program and will continue refining to ensure you receive massive value throughout your journey. Enrollment is currently available for a limited time. Here is the process to enroll and get started. Simply go to levelupgoal.com or click on the link in the description that takes you to the website where you can sign up and be a part of the coolest crew in town. Get in early because we are capping the amount of enrollment opportunities available, of course. For more stories and lessons, check out some of my other episodes in the series. Thank you for showing up, and be well.